Recently, I've been running quite low on some materials, and I thought, why not automate every single one of them? So in this episode, I'll be building 6 different factories to solve this problem. I'll start with the easiest one and work my way towards the hardest, starting with the glass factory. Alright, for the glass factory, I needed to get rid of the hill a bit, which I did off camera, so it's nice and flat now, and a few of the factories will fit here. And I already have the schematic and stuff set up now, but let's see what I need. Alright, so now I'm going to get to work on getting all the materials for the glass factory and then get this thing built. Alright, that is all the materials for the glass factory. So now, I'm going to let it build, and I'll come back when it finishes. Alright, so the factory just finished building, and I already put in all the stuff that needed to be put in, and fixed all the stuff that needed to be fixed, so it should work now. So let's test that. And it works! Alright, so that means the glass factory is finished. Now, I'm going to move on to the next factory, which will be a deep slate factory. But, I'm not gonna make this one on the surface, because I installed a mod that if you make a cobblestone generator under Y0, it actually turns into deep slate instead of cobblestone. So, that's why you need to make the deep slate factory underground. Alright, so the glass factory might be my new super smelter because I replaced like the sand that's gonna be smelted with deep slate in here. And look how fast it's smelting it. Alright, so that's all the materials done for the deep slate factory. So, just like the glass factory, I'm gonna let this thing build and come back when it finishes. Alright, the factory works and it's producing deep slate. So now, I'm going to move on to the next factory, which will be the obsidian factory. Alright, so I just dug out the area for the obsidian factory, and I already have the checklist in here, so let's see what we need. Alright, so now I'm going to get to work on getting the materials again, then get it built, and see if it works. just like that, that's all the materials done for the obsidian factory. So now, I'm gonna let it build again, fix all the stuff that needs to be fixed, and then test it again. So, I'm gonna let this thing build, and I'll come back when it finishes. Alright, now the obsidian factory should work. Yep, it definitely produced some obsidian. So that is the obsidian factory complete. But for this next factory, I actually need to make 2 of them, because the amethyst factory actually needs bone meal for one of its recipes. So I need to make a bone meal factory as well. So first I'm gonna make the bone meal one, then the amethyst one, and then we should have automatic amethyst. Alright, so I just realized for the remaining factories, there's kinda a little bit of a forest in the way. So let me deal with that. Alright, so as you can see, I flattened out the whole area where the forest once was. So I can build a lot more stuff on here. And the grass isn't really finished growing, but once it is, all the dirt will be gone. Anyway, now, I already set up the schematic for the bone meal factory, and I have the checklist right here. So, now, I'm going to get all the materials from this checklist, build the bone meal factory, move on to the amethyst one, I'll link them up together, and then we should have automatic amethyst. Just like that, that's all the materials from the bone meal factory. So now, I'm gonna let this thing build, fix bug blocks if I need to, add in all the liquids, and test if it works. Alright, so the factory just finished building, and I already fixed all the bug blocks and put in all the liquids, so let's see if it works. And it does! It's making bone meal. So that means the bone meal factory is finished, and now it's time to move on to the amethyst factory. Alright, I just set up the schematic for the amethyst factory. So once again, I'm going to get all the materials, going to put in all the liquids and fix all the bug blocks and see if it works. Alright, that is all the materials gotten for the amethyst factory. So now, once again, I'm going to let it build, fix all the bug blocks and add all the liquids, and test if it works. Alright, so I just set up the amethyst factory, and let's see if it works. Alright, and the amethyst factory works. So now, it's just the last factory left, which will be the gold factory. Alright, I just set up the schematic for the gold factory. So for the last time, I'm going to get all the materials, get the factory built, add all the liquids, and fix all the bug blocks, and see if it works. Alright, that is all the materials done for the gold factory. So now, for the last time, I'm gonna let it build, fix all the bug blocks and see if it works. So, let's go. Alright, and the gold factory worked. So that means that is the last factory of this video done. So, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!